Hello and welcome to the session on the history of Selenium. Today we are going to very basic and we will look at the birth of Selenium Core, Selenium RC, Selenium Grid, Webdriver, release history and why the name Selenium. Who developed the Selenium? Primarily, Selenium was created by Jason Huggins in 2004, an engineer at ThoughtWorks, Chicago. He was working on a web application that required a frequent testing. Having realized that manual testing of their application was becoming hard as it was the time consuming and more inefficient. He created a JavaScript program that would automatically control the browser's actions. He named this program as JavaScript Test Runner. Seeing potential in this idea to help automate other web applications, he made JavaScript Runner open source, which was later renamed as Selenium Core. The same origin policy issue. The same origin policy prohibits JavaScript code from accessing elements from domain that is different from where it was launched. Example, the HTML code in Google uses a JavaScript program. Suppose testscript.js. The same origin policy will only allow the testscript.js to access page within Google such as Gmail, uh, google.com or google.com sign up. However, it cannot access pages from different sites such as Yahoo search because they belong to different domains. So here you can see this is the reason why prior to Selenium RC, testers needed to install local copies of both Selenium Core, a JavaScript program, and the web server containing the web application being tested so they would belong to the same domain. Next, birth of Selenium RC, remote control. Unfortunately, testers using Selenium Core had to install the whole application under test and the web server on their own local computers because of the restriction imposed by the same origin policy. So another ThoughtWorks engineer, Paul Hammond, decided to create a server that will act as an HTTP proxy to trick browser into believing that Selenium Core and web application being tested come from the same domain. This system became known as the Selenium Remote Control or Selenium 1. Now, Patrick Lightbody, major contributor to Selenium RC, worked to make Selenium RC stable for large scale of employment and deployment. Sir. Next, birth of Selenium IDE. Shinya Kasatani of Japan created Selenium IDE, a Firefox extension that can automate the browsers through record and playback features. He came up with this idea to further increase the speed in creating test cases. He donated Selenium IDE to the Selenium project in 2006. Selenium IDE is a separate project and it is not a part of the main Selenium project. Now, what a WebDriver. Simon Stewart created WebDriver in 2007 when browser and web applications were becoming more powerful and more restrictive with JavaScript programs like Selenium Core. It was the first cross-platform testing framework that could control the browser from the operating system level. He called it WebDriver. And at the same time, Jason Huggins left ThoughtWorks to join Google, where he continued his work on Selenium 1. Now, birth of Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid was developed by Philip Henry to address the need of minimizing test execution times as much as possible. He initially called the system hosted QA. It was capable of capturing browser screenshots during significant stages and also of sending out Selenium command to different machines simultaneously. Selenium Grid was released at end of 2007, and there is a little confusion about the creator of Selenium Grid. In most of the online resources, you will find that Patrick Lightbody is the person who is claimed to have created Selenium Grid. However, I have done a little search on that and I have found out that Philip Henry is the person who actually created Selenium Grid, and Patrick Lightbody was the major contributors in the Selenium RC, which actually helped extending Selenium Grid. If you look at the blog, October 4, 2007, and the comment section, where Philip Henry comments, I am the principal author for Selenium Grid. Now worth of Selenium 2. The whole Selenium team decided to merge WebDriver and Selenium RC to form a more powerful tool called Selenium 2, and it was released in July 2011. Selenium 3 released uh, October 2016. All Selenium RC implementation is replaced with the WebDriver compatible components. And the last stable release of Selenium 2 was uh, 2.53.1, and Selenium RC is no longer available for download from the Selenium site. Now Selenium 4, released in May 2019. uh, Selenium 4 adopted W3 standard WebDriver protocol. The W3 is an international community that works to develop web standards. In June 2018, WebDriver became a W3 C recommendation. What does this mean? Uh, Major browser vendors Mozilla, Google, Apple, Microsoft support WebDriver and work constantly to improve the browsers and browsers controlling code, which leads to a more uniform behavior across the different browser, making your automation script more stable. and the last stable release of Selenium 3 was v3.141.59. So next, why the name Selenium? The name Selenium comes from a joke which is made by a Jason in an email uh, mocking a competitor named Mercury. Yeah, yes, the company who originally made QTP before it was acquired by HP, saying that you can cure mercury poisoning by taking selenium supplements. Because that time another automated testing framework was popular during selenium development, and it was by the company called Mercury Interactive. Since selenium is a well-known antidote for mercury poisoning, Jason suggested that name, and the others that received the email took the name and ran with it. Looking back on Selenium releases, 2004 Selenium is launched, 2007 Selenium IDE and Webdriver launched, and 2011 Selenium 2 is introduced, and 2016 Selenium 3 and 2019 Selenium 4 Alpha is released. And I will make a separate video for the recent Selenium releases, starting from the Selenium latest version and working back and their key features. Thank you. Bye for now.